Here we go. So we went out and scavenged some dead branches that were roughly the same size and shape, and we started by cleaning them up with a rotary tool. Okay, so we've done a black wash on these. These are for the torches. And now we are putting on this, the teak oil, which will make it more natural. And it's what they would have used back in the day. They would have used an oil.
Hey, you just got up.
Yes, I just got up.
What you doing?
I'm just trying to figure out the colors for the Arduino
Oh, they're resistors, yeah.
for our torch. Hi, well, my job today is to check all the LED lights to make sure that they're all working properly, because we don't want to put them all in and then find out that one isn't working. So I'm going to check each one for continuity, and we do that by touching one here and one there and that and then that and that. If there was an issue, this is what would happen. We would hear this. Then we would know that it wasn't working. And at this point, we didn't know a whole lot about programmable LEDs. We didn't know what length to use or how to attach it to the head of the torches. It took some research as well as trial and error to figure out. In the end, it didn't matter, since the fast LED flame program is adaptive to any length. How to mount it on the torch also didn't matter. You can either cut a few strips, mount them vertically like we did, or spiral the strip around the torch. The reason why we went with vertical strips was because we liked how the effect looked and to save on how many LEDs we used. In our case, we only needed about 8 inches of flame, and we learned through trial and error that 15 LEDs was the sweet spot. So we made 4 strips of 15 LEDs each and mounted them randomly by creating ripples, so to show some kind of randomness in the flame pattern. We needed to create an opening in the bottom of our mounting board in order to create room at the choke point in the elbow where the wires and smoke line needed to bend in order to be fed through the pipe and reach the LEDs in our torch. The same procedure applied for the runes. We basically created a channel to run our LED and smoke effect. It's always a good idea to test the connections as you go along. Nothing worse than having to tear everything down in order to fix a bad connection. The smoke lines were also tested. Warbler time! In these next few clips, we shape Warbler into our medieval torches. The Warbler is a great addition to our arsenal of cosplay and home supplies. We've been using this stuff non-stop. At some point, we'll make a video to show you how amazing this product is. If you're like us, always building and fixing things around the house, at some point or another, you'll end up needing a specific part that is simply not available in stores. So the only thing left to do really is just make this part yourself. Warbler fills this job beautifully, as long as you're not looking to make something heavy duty, but for everything else it gets you rolling again in minutes. We've made all sorts of special clips, mounts, brackets, camera rig adaptations. We use Warbler a lot, and not just for making costumes or props. We use Roscoe Flexbond glue for priming our pieces. This glue is a great primer for EVA foam and Warbler. It's specifically designed to remain flexible, and it takes paint really well. We definitely recommend it. We're shaping the horizontal torch rings, which will be the basic structure for the bowl. We found through trial and error it's best to leave Warbler to cool down before attempting to remove it from a mold or a surface. We used an Olfa knife on the flat to separate it from its mold once the Warbler had set. Another great attribute from Warbler, it sticks to itself when heated. No glue needed. If you must remove Warbler after heating it, prepare yourself in advance and have the tools you will need to peel it off, and have something that can help you bring it back into its original shape before it cools down. On this application, we used a 2-foot level to bring back the Warbler into a straight line. And a great tip for you here. Warbler left to cool down on melamine will detach by itself once it's cooled down. Notice how far down the Warbler strips are from the bottom ring? We didn't notice at the time, but then realized there was something wrong with the overall length of the torch. We simply had to use the heat gun again and reshape these pieces without having to remove the screws that held it in place. We fabricated the bottom of the bowl for our torches with the 5mm EVA foam. We traced it a little bit bigger to give us some wiggle room. Tracing the bottom of the bowl is now much easier to do. We traced and trimmed out the extra and added registration marks on the foam to put it back exactly how we traced it. We used contact cement at this stage to glue the EVA foam to the Warbler. Now it's time for the foam clay. This product acts just like EVA foam, but it's moldable. A little bit of water goes a long way in helping to shape and adhere the foam clay to a surface. Sanding prior to priming is essential if you're looking for a smooth and even finish. Okay, it looks like it's dry enough now. Okay, time for the other side. Okay. And right here, I'm making a lot of spider webs. I've never heard of glue that actually sticks when it's dry, but it does work. Oh, yay! Well, we're still in the process of remodeling our house for our YouTube videos and for our business, so make sure you stay tuned to see how it all turns out. Okay, now for some moldable foam. This sucker was half dry and gave me quite a lot of grief. Ew. It's not moldable anymore. There are ways to get it back moldable. We're just gonna stick it in there, get some. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. Slippery. Okay, 2 hours later. We have to go with plan B because we ended up adding a little bit too much water to the clay and we won't be able to use it. We're gonna have to let it dry out. So plan B is using this glue, which will work great. We're not using this glue because this glue is about double the price, but it's great glue. So we're going to stick this in here. So we need the glue to be about 35% cream, like 35% cream. I think we got her all wet. Well, all glued. Okay. It's kind of like doing paper mache in art class. Okay, so now we'll just let that dry. We use Flex Bond for the primer and then regular acrylic black paint for the base. After giving the torches a coat of paint, we went ahead with the distressing by adding metallic acrylic gray to the edges and sprayed a little bit of graphite powder on the face, which gives it a shinier metallic look. Using a dry brush to coat all over the torches, an overall blended natural look. This is a perfect technique to make something look like distressed metal. So we're finally finished with the project. It took us a lot longer than we thought. It was We were thinking 4 or 5 days, but nope. We had to do research on the flame effect, on the LEDs, how to place them, the smoke. We ended up having to improvise with the smoke effect because we couldn't find a smoke machine that would do what we wanted. They were either too powerful, too expensive, too hard to modify, and on and on and on. And so we did find a solution though. So anyway, we're done. Yay! We're just starting, so we really would love to hear your comments or your questions, just because, you know, any tips you might have that would help us out or help out other people that are watching this would be awesome. So please leave them in the comment section below. Thank